Now, see, that is the thing. See, how in the world do I, with my own voice, translate what's going on in my head? Because, I'm hearing one thing in my head, and obviously what's coming out of my own personal voice box, and mouth and all that business is, it's going to be something different because it's me. It's physically, it is me. So I would like a certain amount of authenticity, if that makes sense, to what is going on in my head. I'm replicating what is said in my head, and then you can, there's these parts of it that just, it just doesn't sound, it sounds forced, it doesn't seem authentic. And so it's how do you find that balance? You know what I'm saying? How do you find that balance of what is being said in your head? And that rhymes too much. And how do you share that voice? I guess you could sit around and tell the stories and say, this is what the voice said. But see, then you'd have to remember everything the voice said rather than just to let the voice talk. But see, then it's getting a little weird because then it's like you're like, oh, I'm speaking in tongues or something, like the voice speaks through me and blah, 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 That's not what this deal is about. That's not that deal. But at the same time, you want to get the voice, you want to give it a voice. You want to give the voice a voice, and you want to do it quickly and spontaneously. So basically what you're saying is, I got to be the speaker, like a stereo speaker in your car, the speaker. I got to be the speaker for the radio that is talking, is saying these things. And since I want to do it right then and there in the moment as it's happening, I need to replicate it as best to my ability. And, I've got limited abilities. I'm not somebody who goes around talking like this all the time. It's not, it's just, I gotta cover, what's in my head like that. Well, you know what I'm saying? And it's not easy. It's like here's what it is. It's like it's like a sign language dude, It's like I'm the guy who's standing at the bottom of the stage or next to the podiums. See, I added an S to podium, trying to be cool. And see, that's the stuff I don't want to do. I don't want to add to. I have to find that point where I'm not adding to what's being said in my head, because it's not about me. So I might have a little urge to say podiums, add an S, to be funny, to make myself smile. But if it wasn't said that way in my head, then why would I be saying that? You know what I'm saying? So, okay, back to the thing. I'm like the translating guy with the deaf people, and I'm standing there with the sign language, and I'm trying to, wave my arms around, making words in the sky and stuff, and but at the same time, I'm trying to put some emotion into it. I'm trying to make my face, cringe if the deaf guy is all talking, going cry, and he's cringing. As an interpreter, I want, I want my, what do you call those people that do that? They do the sign language. I don't know. Anyway, so he cringes his face, and that isn't that he's being phony, or he's trying to be funny, or he's trying to, make a point. He is literally as best he can in that moment to help that person transfer what they're trying to get across. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, trying to be as real as possible by sharing what's going on in my head, and that's it. I don't know where I was going with that. But partner here gave me a headache. See, now that's me. That was me throwing in pert near, not the voice. That was me. I threw in pert near because I was stalling, because I felt like I don't know where I'm going with that, so I'll just say something funny. I'll say pert near, because that's what somebody like that would say. He would say pert near. Well, that wasn't the voice saying pert near. That was me, and that's not authentic. See, this is something I got to work on. See, I've never recorded this voice. I've been with this voice for years and 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 years. Once again, I just did that to make a point, I guess. So I might as well talk as me, because I'm not talking for the voice in my head anymore. But it's a voice I've heard for years. I've told you who it is. And I was talking to it today about this business of sharing the voice, and rather than just say, oh, the voice said, go buy some tubs, at the store. The voice said, don't buy that vegetarian chicken patty. There's too much salt in it. Or looked at the scale this morning and said, hey, maybe a little too much bread. Let's back off the bread. And yourself, it's either all bread or no bread. You probably ought to just get rid of it. Okay, well, to authentically share that voice, I like the idea of grabbing a recorder sometimes and sharing it, which is very creepy to me. I'm not some sort of fortune teller sitting at some spiritual thing going, and the voice came to my head, and that, to me, that's immediate charlatan. That's a bunch of crap. But at the same time, it's like, well, if I can try my best to authentically replicate what's in my head, what I'm hearing, as I'm hearing it, it's never going to be right. I'm not doing an impersonation. I'm doing the whole sign language guy. I'm sharing what I'm hearing as best I can. And I have to fight that urge to, when I think it's a dead spot, to throw in something funny or to add a little cutesy thing, pert near this, pert near that. Although the voice does say that, but throwing it in myself. Never edit the text, ever. That's what I need to remember. Never edit the text. Never add me to the text. If I'm gonna share the voice, share the voice. Which is a scary thought, and I don't even think I'm gonna share this video, let alone share the voice.